Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about the pulse position modulation and also the pulse code modulation in this unit 2. Pulse position modulation. So the amplitude and the width of the pulses are kept constant while the position of each pulse with the reference to the position of reference pulse is changed according to the instantaneous sample value of the modulating signal. So the generation of the PPM will be based on the scheme of PDM and the PPM. So these corresponding waveforms will combines both the sampling and the modulation operations. So the sawtooth generator will generate the sawtooth signal of frequency fs, and this sawtooth signal is also called as the sampling signal, which is applied to the inverting input of the comparator. The modulating signal x of t is applied to the non-inverting input of the comparator. So the output of the comparator is highly instantaneous value of x of t, and it is higher than the sawtooth waveform. So the leading edge of the PDM signal will occur at the fixed time period. So KTS is the trailing edge of the output of the comparator, and it will depends on the amplitude of the signal x of t. So when the sawtooth waveform voltage is greater than the voltage of x of t, the output of the comparator will remains 0. So the trailing edge of the output of the comparator is modulated by the signal x of t. So if the sawtooth waveform is reversed, then the trailing edge will be fixed and the leading edge will be modulated. So if the sawtooth waveform is replaced by the triangular waveform, then both the leading and the trailing edges will be modulated. So the pulse duration modulation or pulse width modulation signal is nothing but output of the comparator. So the amplitude of this pulse duration modulation or pulse width modulation signal will be positive saturation of the comparator, and it will provide the amplitude is the same for all the pulses. So to generate the pulse position modulation, the pulse duration modulation signal is used as a trigger input to one monostable multivibrator. So this monostable output will remain 0 until it is triggered. So the monostable is triggered on the falling edge of a PDM. The output of the monostable will then switches to the positive saturation level. This voltage will remain high for fixed period, then it will go slow. So the width of the pulses can be determined by monostable. So the pulse is delayed from sampling time KTS, and it will depend on the amplitude of the signal x of t at KTS. Next, generation of PPM using the IC555. Here it consists of differentiator and the monostable multivibrator. So the input to the differentiator is PWM waveform, and the differentiator will generate the positive and negative spikes corresponding to the leading and trailing edges of the PWM waveform. So the diode D1 is used to bypass the positive spikes, and the negative spikes are used to trigger the monostable multivibrator. So the monostable multivibrator then generates the pulses of same width and amplitude of the reference to the trigger to give pulse position modulated waveform. So this will provide the waveforms of PPM generator. Demodulation of PPM signal. So in the case of the pulse position modulation, it is used to convert the received pulse that will vary in the position to pulses that vary in length. So one way to achieve this is the flip-flop circuit is set or turned on when the reference pulse arrives. So this reference pulse is generated by reference pulse generator of the receiver, with the synchronization signal from the transmitter. So the flip-flop circuit is reset or turned off at the leading edge of the position modulated pulse. So this will repeat and we get the PWM pulses at the output of the flip-flop. So the PWM pulses are then demodulated by PWM demodulator to get the original modulating signal. Advantages like PWM, in PPM also the amplitude is held constant and it will have less noise interference. The signal and the noise separation is also very easy. So due to the constant pulse width and amplitude, the transmission power for each pulse is same. Disadvantages: the synchronization between the transmitter and receiver is required and it has required a large bandwidth. The main application is synchronous communication of analog pulses over short distances. Next is pulse code modulation. So the pulse code modulation means analog voice data must be translated into a series of binary digits before they can be transmitted. So the pulse code modulation, the amplitude of the sound wave is sampled at regular intervals and it will be translated into the binary number. So the difference between original analog signal and the translated digital signal is called as the quantizing error. So here is the PCM system fully. Here the first we have to pass the signal M of t and it will be given to the sampler. Then it will provide the M of NTA as the input signal. Then that input signal is passed to the quantizer. Quantizer will provides the sampled signal to finite quantization levels and it will provide the output as MQ NTS. So then that output will be given to the encoder. So the encoder will encode the signal and it will provides the 7 bits will be encoded to the 3 bits parts. Likewise, it will provide the binary sequences. Then it is given to the channel. So likewise, in the receiver side, here we have used the M of t as the input, M cap of t as the input, and it will be passed by reconstruction of filter. Since after receiving the binary sequence, then it will be decoded by using the decoder. So the decoded process will be converts the digital to analog converter and it will be given to the reconstruction filter. Here the reconstruction filter we have used the low pass filter. This low pass filter will be used to smooth the output of the signal and it will be given the accurate M cap of t signal. So here is the block diagram of PCM transmitter. Transmitter side, here X of t is first passed through the pre-Aliasr low pass filter of the cutoff frequency WHz. Hence, at the frequency components higher than WHz are blocked. So the signal is then sampled by the sampling circuit. The sampling frequency will be Fs is greater than or equal to 2W and Ts is equal to 1 by Fs. So the quantization circuit will quantize the sample signal to finite quantization levels and this quantized signal will take any one of the Q quantization levels. Okay, then the quantized signal is then represented by finite number of digits. For example, if there are 3 bits means it will be represented by 2 power 3 is equal to 8 quantization levels. So this is encoded signal and it is called as the PCM signal. So next we are going to see about the PCM process. The first one is filtering process, second one is sampling, and then third one is quantization and fourth one is encoding. So first we are going to see about the sampling process. Here the analog signal is sampled every TS seconds and the TS is referred to as the sampling interval. So that is Fs is equal to 1 by TS and it is called as the sampling rate or sampling frequency. There are 3 sampling methods, that is ideal sampling, natural sampling and flat top sampling. Okay, so here we can see this 3 types of sampling methods. Okay, first one is ideal sampling. It is also known as the impulse sampling, and it is accomplished by the multiplication of the signal x of t by the uniform train of pulses. So consider that the instantaneous sampling of analog signal x of t train of pulse functions selects the sample values at the regular intervals. The next one is natural sampling. So natural sampling is a practical method of sampling in which the pulse have finite width equal to capital T. That is, the sampling is done in accordance with the carrier signal, which is digital in nature. Okay. The last third one is flat top sampling. So during the transmission process, the noise is introduced at the top of the transmission pulse, which can be easily removed if the pulse is in the form of flat top. So hence it is called as the flat top sampling or practical sampling. So next one we are going to see about the quantizing process. So this process will measure the numerical values of samples, and it will give a table value in suitable scale. So the finite number of amplitude intervals is called quantizing interval. Likewise, the quantizing interval number is 10 to 20 millivolt. The 2 is 20 to 30 millivolt, etc. Okay. So the linear quantizing will be occur in the intervals of same sizes. So quantization intervals are coded in binary forms, and it has the power of 2. So in PCM, the 8-bit code is used, and we have a 256 intervals for quantizing. That is 128 levels in positive direction and another 128 levels in negative direction. So next one is quantization distortion. So the deviation between the amplitude and samples at the transmitter and receiver ends will have a very minute deviation in the distortion process. So in the linear quantization process, the distortion is more, and to decrease the distortion, we have taken the number of steps in the amplitude range and to increase them side by side. Okay. So due to the bandwidth limitations, more quantum levels in a small amplitude region will plan to results to non-linear quantization. It will lead to the uniform quantization process. So next we are going to see about the PCM standards. There are two types of standards in PCM. They are European standard and American standard. So they will differ slightly in the details of working, but the principles are same. So in European PCM, it will be occurring 30 channels. In North American PCM, it will be occurring 24 channels. In Japanese PCM, it will be occurring 24 channels. And in India, we have 30 channel systems are working. So next is bitrate and bandwidth requirements of PCM. So the bitrate of the PCM signal will be calculated from the number of bits per sample and into sampling rate. That is, bitrate is equal to NB into Fs. So the bandwidth will be required to transmit the signal, which will depends on the type of the line encoding used. So a digitized signal will always be needed more bandwidth than the original analog signal. So it is used for paying the robustness and other features of digital transmission level. Advantages. So uniform transmission quality, the compatibility of different classes of traffic in network. It will be integrated in digital networks. It will have a low manufacturing cost, increased utilization of existing circuits, and it has a good performance transmission paths. The disadvantages are large bandwidth required for transmission level. Next, noise and crosstalk leaves the low but raises the attenuation. So next one is an integrated digital network will only be realized, and it will be a gradual extension of noises are occurred. Applications. The PCM will be used in the compact disc. It is also used in digital telephony and also used in digital audio applications. Thank you.